In this video, I will make best ever Android TV box using Raspberry Pi. Here in this video, I will use Raspberry Pi 3B Plus model. If you have Raspberry Pi 4B with 2GB RAM, you will get better performance. And in this Raspberry Pi Android TV box, can watch live TV, YouTube, web series, movies, everything. And also I will sync this with my old DVD player remote so that your TV or this Android box can be controlled using remote. So without further delay, let's begin this video. So first of all, you need one power adapter, and I am going to use 3A 5V power adapter with my old Raspberry Pi 3B Plus model. It has 1GB RAM. And also you also need one HDMI cable to connect it with your normal LED or LCD TV which has HDMI port. And here you can see all the thing is that one remote control needed. Here I am using my old DVD player remote. Here you can see many buttons is there. I will also show you how you can customize and how you can sync or pair with your Raspberry Pi, because it is a customized remote and this kind of remote key table you cannot find over internet. So I will also show you in this video. So next you need this kind of IR receiver. So here it is the IR receiver model number you can see in the screen right now. This has 3 legs, one is 3.3, one is ground and another one is the data pin. So you will also need jumper wires, 3 female jumper wires, and here you can see I will attach it with the 11th GPIO pin, that means GPIO pin number 17. So here you can see in this way I have to connect the left one will be the GPIO pin number 17, and next will be the voltage or 3.3 volt, and next will be the ground. Here you can see how it looks like after setting up its hardware. So I will also use a black sponge so that the light will be obstructed from the behind, and this IR receiver will work very well. So here you can see you can work it with your LAN or broadband connection, or also you can use mobile hotspot or any kind of your router hotspot to connect it and play all the things. So right now the time to flash the software. So I will use class 10 memory card of 32GB. You can also use 16GB, but it is recommended to use at least 32GB. It will give you good performance. So here I am going to use Consta-Kang Raspberry Pi Lineage OS unofficial version. So first of all you have to download the image file. I will give the link in the description. From there it is around 500 MB. Just select the custom in the Raspberry Pi images software and then select the image file, then select your SD card and click on write. Flash your SD card. OS has been flashed. So here you can see in the first boot it will take some time, but here you can see the boot screen. So the Lineage OS is going to start here, and here you can see the Lineage OS logo will be showing there. So as the normal Android mobile or any Android devices, first of all when you start it will have to set the time zone, date, time, select the Wi-Fi network, everything the normal Android device asks. Here will ask, and as well as it will ask you the agree to the terms and conditions, etc, etc. So you can set up, because it is a very friendly UI. You always have to access this kind of UI when you buy a new mobile phone, Android phone. So that's all, it's not new to you. So after the setting up all these things, what you have to do, you have to install some application sideload. Remember one thing, this build does not have inbuilt Google Play Store Play service. If you install it by G apps, so you can install by yourself, but I do not recommend you because this is a 1GB variant and it lags when you install Google apps or G apps. So by default this is the window, this is the launcher, but yeah, you can understand this is a mobile launcher, not a desktop launcher. So you have to install the ATV launcher. So you have to install some APK, just download those APK using internet, insert your SD card or in your pen drive, then install that APK using your keyboard, mouse or your IR Blaster remote in your Raspberry Pi. So you have to install those APKs. And here you can see I have also installed the CX File Explorer. I am going to show you which OS or which APKs I have installed. So here you can see this is the storage, 32 GB storage it has. App out of the 13% is used. So next is the application. Here you can see ATV launcher, next is CX file, next is smart YouTube TV. This is not official app. Last one is Top TV. This is a brilliant app. All the web series, movies, TV, live TV, everything sports will be inside the Top TV. All the apps are not official, but yes, if you can use your Android TV Box for free using Raspberry Pi, then you can also use those kind of apps. So right now the settings part, you have to go to the status bar to enable the internet speed meter icon or the bandwidth, whatever going on in the middle of the screen in the notification bar you can watch. So you can check all those settings by yourself. This is very easy. So here you can see the security patch is around 5 July 2020, very latest. Android version is Android 9, also latest according to the TV version. So yeah, there is the build number. This is the official developer is the Consta Kang, and here you can see the Android 9 Pie UI. So now you have to enable the developer option. So to enable the developer option, you have to tap multiple times in the build number, and in the about device, if you click multiple times in the build number, then the developer mode will be activated. Next go to the system, next go to the advanced and go to the developer option. This will help you to enable the root and enable you to customize your remote. Unless and until you activate the root, you cannot sync, customize your TV DVD remote to this Raspberry Pi. You can use, or you can see the running services from developer option, how much RAM is free there. So here you can see 360 MB around RAM right now free after the boot or no application is running. So it will give you around this kind of RAM, but if you use Google Apps it will reduce. So then go to the local terminal, enable it, then go to the root, enable the ADB and apps, all those settings inside that. First of all you have to enable the root using developer option setting, and then the local terminal. If you enable local terminal, here you can see one terminal or command prompt black screen will pop up. Then you have to enter the SU. SU means super user. So if you use the Linux, you have to enable all the times root or sudo, and here you can it is only SU. So here you can see the YouTube application, the very good application because you do not have Play Store, but still you can right away update it. So after opening it, it is asking update. So after update it will open again. So instead of Play Store you can do it using the app, inside the app. So here you can see normal setting, you can link with your mobile using the YouTube code, television code. If you have other mobile is running on your local Wi-Fi devices, you can play from your mobile and video will be played inside this YouTube app. So that's all in the setting. Right now I'm opening the Top TV. This is a brilliant app, I have already said, because all the sports, movies, Amazon Prime, Netflix, Jio TV, Jio Cinema, Airtel TV, Hotstar, G5, MX Player, Hoichoi, everything, I must say everything is inside here. So Voot application, all is inside here. You have to just use your Jio ID and password, Jio TV ID and password to log in the Jio TV. Jio TV name is given here Jasmine TV. Another one is Alumundi TV, because this is basically Airtel TV. You have to use your Airtel SIM, enter your mobile number, the OTP, just log in and enjoy. Remember, you do not have to have any kind of active plan. Your this channel is playing. I have blurred out for the copyright issue, so you can see you can play HD quality, full HD. That's mean 1080 pixel may lag, but 720 pixel working like a charm. My TV is also 720 pixel, so I do not have any issue right here. Some things is written there, the regional is India. When the regional is India written there, you have to use your internet ISP or location as India. If you are outside from India, use any VPN, or if you are anything is written global, that's mean you can use it global. Global means from anywhere in the world you can use. So I must recommend if you are outside, use any VPN. So here you can see video quality can also be selected. Here you can see many size is given there, bit rate is given there. Depending upon your internet plan speed, you can check those settings. Manually also decrease the quality, and by default automatically it will select the auto. So here you can see YouTube application. YouTube application is a fully functional using remote control. So here you can see the remote control here, the keyboard is virtual keyboard is there, and here you can see those setting is there, and my channel is showing that, and you can use a remote left, right, top, bottom. Okay, in this way here I can see I can play any videos, scroll anything in YouTube. So, and no advertisement will show here. I have checked, no advertisement is showing up because it is a customized app, not official app. That's why they omitted the YouTube ads part. As a YouTube content creator, this is not good for me because I will not get benefited or any commission because no advertisement will show in the application. But here you can see this kind of quality can be selected. So here in my video is playing at 720 pixel, no issue whatsoever. As much speed as your good internet plan is, broadband you have, you do not going to have any issue. If you have slow internet connection, this Raspberry Pi may hang, may lag, but if you have good internet connection, video will not be laggy or any kind of buffer. So in this way you can use your old Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. Now I'm going to share how to fix some problems or sync the remote. First of all, after installation everything done, inside your SD card again to the computer, use your any Linux build. So I'm using Linux Mint. So after that, open the Dix app. So select those where there is any kind of unallocated space is there, just select your 4GB variant and resize that to 32GB, so that in the CX File Explorer on Android OS it will show you 32GB. By default it will not show you. It's something a bug, you must say. Next, you have to insert any kind of partition because we have to change something and we have to do something tweak so that our remote is working right away after every boot. So just go to the system partition, then you have find a etc. So you have to enable the init script. That's mean the boot script you have to enter some boot script, 2 or 3 line boot script you need. So there is a boot partition is there is a config partition. So I have to first of all go to the config.txt boot from the boot partition. So in the config.txt you may find something IR pin, then you have to go to those IR pin and you have to do the pin number 17, or you have to remove the hashtag because by default it will be comment out the IR line or IR blaster hardware interface, but you have to change it. So next, go to the system partition, go to the etc folder, go to the init.d. This init.d is responsible for the boot script. So in the config.txt, what I am saying here, you can say IR line, I have given the pin number 17. I am just comment out the hashtag. So next, there is a one file is there in the boot partition. There is resolution. You can change the resolution according to TV resolution. By default it is 720. So next, go to the system partition, then go to the etc and init.d. I have said you this 3 times because you need to have good attention to do this. So just follow me. Go to the etc, then go to the init.d. There will be 2 init and init.d. Go to the init.d. Here you can just create any blank file and give any name because the naming convention here does not matter. Just you have to do everything inside that folder because this folder is calls when the system boots. So also do not forget to give the executable permission or +X. Then this kind of this IRK table. How to get those code I am going to say you little bit after. So this code or key.conf file you have to also place there. Another new file, blank file you have to create. Inside the blank file you have to write some bash script. So here it is the bash script. So the bash script will be like the system bnsh IRK table -p NEC means this is the remote protocol may be different according to your remote. You have to Google it for it. Then IRK table C and then the config file path. This is basically after every boot it will load your remote because after every boot remote config table or key values are reset. So that's why you have to do every boot. Here you can see if you have new remote, just go to the IRK table and -p NEC RC5 RC6 many protocols, Sony, Samsung, every protocol is there. After that you have to keep IR-key table -R. This this option will enable inside the terminal of that Android software, and it will give you some scan code after pressing single key. So just point out and write down those scan code. Then in the right side you have to keep the name like the key A, key B, key C. This is the Android version or the kernel version or kernel name of the key. You have to follow those. So I'll try to give all those files inside description, so you can copy it and just change the hex value according to your remote. So that's all in this video, how you can sync your old TV remote, DVD remote to your Raspberry Pi 3B Plus, and also work with Raspberry Pi as an Android TV player so that you can control full Android TV box using that remote. I hope you found this video helpful. If you found this video helpful, do like this video, share this video, do comment if you are facing any problem, and do not forget to subscribe sometimes, because I am going to give you more interesting knowledgeable video like this. Thanks a lot for watching this video. I'm going to meet you in my next video. Till then, goodbye and be safe at home.